Yo. Welcome to thy show, Ryan, Logan, Nolan, all of you wonderful people. We've got a 2-hour show for you. I decided, it's only me. I'm a one-man band. Who's we? I decided, because I can wake up and do what I want. I could change my logo tomorrow if I want. We're gonna go 2 hours every Tuesday and Thursday instead of 3 hours. We're gonna hit quality over quantity instead of getting burned out in the third hour, at least until we get into the fantasy football, the heart of fantasy football season. I just want to make sure we have quality. There are times there in hour 3 or hour 2, it was lagging. 2 hours goes by like that. 3 hours is a bit longer. Plus, we start, at the time people are leaving work at 4, 5 to 7. 5 to 7 every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, the Fantasy Football Show live. It just moved to 5. That's all you need to know. Grovel is out. It's going to be... Where's Grovel? Umberger here? Umberger? No? Thought maybe we had an Umberger sighting. Let's get into the news, and then we'll go into... let's see. Topic will be news, and then we'll get into fantasy football court in the final hour, if not a little bit earlier than normal. So topic will be news, and we'll start with the news that I have right on screen here with Najee Harris. I want to talk about Najee for a little bit. Like, the news isn't really going to trigger too much, conversation in general. It's more so I want to talk about Najee. So let's make this a Najee segment. A Najee rant. Steelers signed the number 24 overall pick, Najee Harris, to a 4-year contract. The rookie's going to be ready to rumble on time. Let's get him in there. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm liking Najee more and more every single day. And I know we have some concerns about Big Ben. I've got those concerns. You've got them. Any rational person's like, Big Ben could be done at any moment. And what we've learned is when Big Ben gets removed from the offense, either by getting hurt or potentially what could be the same thing as if he got washed out, if he just completely had a noodle arm coming out the gate in 2021, which is possible. He might have 1 year left, but if he lays an egg, the passing game's gonna get hit pretty hard. But they haven't had a good running back since Bell, so I'm pretty excited about this offense. I think they can squeeze by another year, squeeze out another year out of Big Ben, and really get top 5 to 10 rookie. Well, top five to 10 numbers overall out of Najee. But for a rookie, that's phenomenal. And I know everybody's going to be like, whoa, pump the brakes. We went through this with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm not doing it again. Look, rookie running backs, year in, year out, it doesn't matter what happened to Clyde. It doesn't matter what happened to this running back or that running back. It's a case-by-case basis. I'm like Brett Favre, or A-Rod. Go throw 4 INTs. It doesn't faze me. I'll go right back out onto the field and try and sling a game-winning touchdown pass to my boy 40 yards down. Who's that boy? I envision the guy being CeeDee Lamb. You picture whoever you want, but when I'm on the field and I drop back, it's CeeDee Lamb. It's CeeDee for the touchdown, and that's how I think of things. I don't worry about, I missed on Clyde boy last year, or any other misses. We all have misses. Look, I produce roughly 365 videos a year if you include my live streams on YouTube. Do you think I'm not going to miss shit? I will miss stuff. It's going to happen. But I don't think we missed on Clyde. Everybody loved him. His situation was phenomenal. COVID, the pandemic probably hampered a lot. I think we need more lighting. There we go. the pandemic really did a number. Is it better with the lighting off or on? You know, do we dim the lights like at the club? Is it like whoa? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Najee. Let's get back to Najee. Okay, so Najee Harris, man. I think Najee Harris is going to have a top 5 to 10 wide receiver running back season. Here I go again. Top 5 to 10 running back season. I really do. As a rookie, I don't even care. I don't even care what happened to Clydey boy. I don't care who's upset about Clyde, who doesn't want to repeat the same thing that happened last year, and I'm going to avoid rookie running backs. I'm going to take Najee Harris as high. Don't tell anybody, okay? Don't tell anybody, but I will take Najee Harris as high as 2.1 if I have to. Don't tell a single soul, but that's what I would do. And I'm hoping we don't have to get to that point. Dim. We like to dim. I'm hoping we don't have to get to that point. I really am. Okay, we dimmed it, Yoda. I know I'm a little pale. Someone said, hey, I liked you in the movie Powder the other day. I gotta get a tan. They're like, you were great in the movie Powder. But Najee Harris is gonna be that good. I don't want to take him in round 1. In Dynasty, I will. In Dynasty, he's like a top. I might be in the minority here. I don't know, but I might take him as high as like number 6 or 5 overall in Dynasty. Probably 6. I like 6 to 10. And in redraft, 2.1 is where I'll pay if I have to. But again, I don't advise that. You can get him at 2.10 to 2.12, 3.1 sometimes. Najee's a pretty good deal in redraft right now. One of my favorite second drafted players, especially when I got that 1 pick. Absolutely love it. Hit the thumbs up on your way in the door. We got 32 to 50 people watching. 12 thumbs up. 2 haters. Punch the thumbs up. Let's do it. Let's do this. So I would like to know in the comments. I'll throw your comments on screen here. Who is on board the Najee Harris train, like fully on board, and which one of you individuals, you fine individuals out there, is willing to pay 2.1 value if push comes to shove? Again, I preface that you'll want to take him according to his ADP. If you take Najee at 2.1 and his ADP isn't there yet, and you come to me and say, Smitty, I did what you said. I took Najee Harris at 2.1. I'm going to ask you why. Because you don't need to yet. I'm saying I will when the time comes. What's up, Leo? So Master Yoda, Leo, Joseph, Hall of J Game, Lucas, Biskin, Ryan, Yoda, Powers. Tell me what you think. Would you take Najee Harris at 2.1 in redraft if you had to? If his value climbs that high? I would love to know. Because I would. As my I don't care anywhere. As my second drafted player, love Najee in redraft. Love him. Pitts to the moon. I love Pitts too. Dynasty. I love him. Redraft. People need to be a little bit cautiously optimistic. Like he'll probably be a top 5 tight end as a rookie in redraft. He could very well be 3 to 4, but there could be moments where the dude's learning, moments where he might not even be on the field as much as we want for some dumb reason. Coaching, like, we have to prepare a little bit for buying him at value that encompasses all that risk. You can't just go out blindly and be like, Pitts is going to be number 3. We don't know. We want to hope for that. We're going to draft him and shoot for the moon, like my boy says right here, Nicholas. Pitts to the moon. DXX1 says, nah, I'd prefer 2.4 to 2.8. Of course you prefer that, bro. That's what I prefaced. Would you pay? Not what do you prefer. I prefer him at 5.7. DXX. But what's the max you would pay? Saquon was a first rounder as a rook, says Kyle. Kyle would go 1.10 to 1.12 if he had to in redraft. That's my boy. Again, I like him 2.1. I want him to be your second drafted player, like out of principle. You could, if you had 2.1, that means you have 1.12. You can make a bold statement in your league. You can go 1.12 Harris, then take your wide receiver or whatever. But I want to tell you to make sure you use ADP to your advantage. I'd rather play it safe. He's a rookie, so he will struggle as he learns. I get it. Not everybody's going to be on board with it, but thank goodness we can take him at like 2.10, 2.12. Smitty, you have won me $2,500 last year in pounds from the UK. Your advice is the very best out there. Hey, Sean, what is 2,500 pounds? What's that equate to? Let's calculate this. 2,500 pounds conversion to dollars. $3,573? I thought we were going to be like in the hundreds. The dollar sucks, man. It's only going to get worse, too. Give me that stimmy. Soon, Sean, you're going to come to me and go, Smitty, you won me 8,000 equivalent dollars. So basically 1,000 pounds in fantasy football last year. It's going to soon be equivalent to 8, 10, 15 grand. We're printing stimmies like we're giving them out like candy. So that's awesome, bro. I appreciate you, Sean. And may I ask, what was if you had to define it to one or two things that helped win you? $3,500, Sean? One or two things that you could narrow it down to tell the people what possibly got you into that position? I'd appreciate that, Sean. Damn. I gotta get me some pounds, bro. I gotta get me some LBs. Them UK LBs are worth way more than our dollar right now. Smitty, I got Devontae Smith with the 1.7 and Michael Carter at 2.1. Nev, I am proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm as proud of you as I'm almost as proud of myself drinking a 0-calorie Mountain Dew Zero, which they're not a sponsor, but these are damn good for a 0-calorie. Like, it's like a diet equivalent, right? And I drink Coke like a bandit, but I drink Coke at night now. I'm trying to drink more zero drinks, for my afternoon. And I'm running a lot more. I have not bulked up. You can ridicule me. I told you if I wasn't ripped by tax day, the May 15th date or May 17th, I'm obviously not ripped yet. We're gonna give myself an extension, 1 month. If I'm not ripped by June 15th, I want you all to come in and blast the hell out of me in the comments and say, Smitty, what happened to being ripped? You don't look ripped. I have 30 days, and you know what? Now that I'm on stories, I'm on YouTube Shorts. I'm gonna document my getting ripped. 30 days. What's today's date? Okay, we'll go 30 days. So June 25th. I have 30 days starting today, and I'm going to document that SOB on YouTube stories and, of course, Instagram on my stories, YouTube shorts. And I'm going to get ripped right in front of your eyes. I'll take a photo before. I'm not going to show that until I'm ripped because it doesn't look good to show a photo of yourself when you look completely awful unless you're like, this was me. So we'll do the before and after if it works out. But I will be completely ripped within 30 calendar days on June 25th. We'll even put it in the corner somewhere that I'm going to look like a machine. If you see me on the streets, you'll walk the other way. And if that guy we call the clown ever wants to box for charity, he's going to be afraid to even look in my direction. And you can tell him I said so because he runs anyway. He runs and I'm not even ripped yet. Wait till I get ripped. Coke at night, that's true. The reason I do that is I drink so much Coca-Cola Classic, my man. I suck it down like they're popsicles. I just shoot it down. I drink about 100 ounces of Coke a day. And, I'm going to cut it back to like 50, which might be a lot to all of you, but I run a lot. It's all about calories to me. Do I take in X number of calories? I'm gonna get ripped even drinking 50 ounces of Coke a day. I don't care, but this will help. These zeros will help. I don't drink a ton of them because I hear those are worse than actual Coke, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I wither away in front of you, but tastes pretty good. I like the Do Zeros, man. The Do Zeros. Don't take roids. Don't worry, I don't need roids. Show me the guns. The before and after guns. Okay, so here's the before gun. There's not much there. It used to be. I mean, it's like rock solid, but it's not cut by any means. Like these guns used to be pretty big. So right now, before gun, there's no definition under there whatsoever. There's no, you'd have to draw like a line with pen under there. Here are the guns. Look at that gun right there. Soon I will be ripped. I will be a beast. I won't even fit in this hat anymore. It'll just shred off. I'm gonna gain head muscle. My head's gonna be ripped. My head's gonna be wrapped in muscle. Right now I feel like I'm wearing a meat suit, but I'm gonna take off the meat suit and I'm gonna wrap myself in. I'm gonna take this bubble wrap off and be ripped. Anyway, Ridley or Godwin MT and a top 5 2022 pick. Oh, bro. That's like, this is one of those, Ryan, where you're taking it in one end, you're doing well in the other end, you're getting kicked in the nuts in the other end. It's like, of course I love Ridley. He's the best player in the deal. But now you're telling me you're going to get MT, Godwin, and a top 5 2022 rookie pick. You got to take that. I love Ridley, but you got to take that. That's a whole boatload of options and potential. Like MT, I don't like MT more than Ridley. Let me preface that. Let me hammer that home. Ridley for me all day, a whole round more than I like Godwin or MT. Ridley. Turn this up. But Ryan, is it possible that MT's better than Ridley? I suppose. Is it possible your top 5 2022 rookie pick, if it truly is top 5? Now, are you being honest with yourself? Is it truly going to be top 5? If it is, that side wins out. That's tough to pass on. I take Godwin MT in the top 5 rookie pick, and I didn't like it. I don't like taking it, but I'm taking it. Oh, let's save this for the court. Hold on. Just hold your questions. What are we doing? We're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, so Naja Harris signs his rookie deal. Dude's going to be a top 5 to 10 running back per start. And he's going to start all games, and assuming he stays healthy. I love him. I'm really loving him as my second drafted player. I'm really loving him in the first round in Dynasty, and I wanna have him on like 2 or 3, 4 of my Dynasty teams. I don't put all my eggs in one basket, but with Najee, I feel like I'm just, my excitement's growing by the day. I don't know why. Some of it is just probably some of it's rookie fever. I can be honest with you, but I get a warm fuzzy feeling about Najee's 2021 season. I think we're really looking at something special. It's just a mixture of volume meets good talent that I think he's gonna improve and get better and better and better. And he looks like he's gonna be in a good spot. I'm really liking this spot. The more I'm looking at it, even if Big Ben struggles a little bit, they're gonna run a ton, and I think they squeeze a decent year, not a great year out of Big Ben. And we don't need a great year for Najee to explode. You need a great year if you want Deontay to explode. because everyone's acting like Deontay Johnson is going to be gifted wide receiver 1 targets. And they're like, this guy's a wide receiver 2 that's going to be a wide receiver 1. Draft him. I'm not going near Deontay at wide receiver 2 value. That seems crazy to me. Next piece of news. Damn, my guns did not look good on... This does not... This does not look like a cannon anymore. The only reason I'm okay showing no gun action there is because in 1 month I'm gonna be like, and you guys are gonna go, damn Smitty, you on roids? I'm gonna be ripped. I'm gonna be ripped, and I'm putting the pressure on. We're gonna put a date in the corner here. Let's see. Let's do the countdown. Can we do the counter? Where's the countdown? Every video for the rest of the month, I'm gonna have the counter, the timer. All right, so let's do. Can I do this? This is one. Is this 1 day? No. How can I do this for 1 day? Countdown to a date. Here we go. Okay, so we'll be June 6th. We'll do noon. We'll do noon. We'll give me the morning. We'll give me the morning of this day, just in case I need a quick pump right before. Actually, no, we'll do it. Will this be? I don't know if it'll be a Tuesday or Thursday. I don't really care. Let's put it at 5 p.m. Eastern, so I can do the reveal of the guns on the show. Whoa! Look at the look at those hours. Whoa! Okay, so where am I gonna put this? We'll put it right in the corner here. Hours until Smitty is ripped. There we go. That's a lot of hours. It's gonna be a little scary when we get into the what is that? 31. That's 31 days. 31 days. Okay, I see what it's doing here. 31 days. Let's do 20. Yeah, we'll keep it as the 25th. 24th. We'll do 24th. We want it to be 30 days. We want this thing to be 30 days. So 30 days, 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 34 seconds. There we go. I thought that was hours at first. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? 30 days, 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 23 seconds. I will be a giant. I will practically be the Incredible Hulk. Okay, next piece of news. I'm going to save this for Fantasy Football Court. I'm going to put you right in the corner, young man. All right, where are we at? Antonio Brown re-signs with the Bucks. This is good news. We knew this would happen. We knew Tom Brady wasn't letting him out of the basement until he signed the contract. He's happy. He's never been happier. This man has problems. In my opinion. That's not my medical opinion because I don't have a medical degree. I just have a couple torn ACLs and one torn ACL, MCL, a couple torn ligaments, a torn patellar tendon. I'm practically a knee doctor that is unlicensed and not given any accreditation whatsoever. But what I am not is a doctor in psychology or psychiatric. I'm not a psychiatric doctor, but I do have a bachelor's in psychology. So I'm kind of like a psychologist, a psychology intern. I'm kind of like on the verge of getting into into a master's program for psychology. I carry a little weight, little internship type appeal, and I'm worried about this man. When he leaves Tampa Bay, I don't know what we're gonna see. It was what do you call it? Fishbowl? What do you call his girl? Fishbowl? Kept calling her Fishbowl, whatever. This guy was in the news and had police at his door all the time. I really worry about what's going on with this guy. But he's happy. He's happy. He's winning. He doesn't even care if he's getting the football. He just wants to win championships. He just wants to be near Tom Brady. He just wants to be near greatness. And until he leaves Tampa, the dude's gonna probably be well behaved. I'm very, very much convinced that his antics are on hold. Whole lot of money, whole lot of problems, whole lot of antics. I think we'll see it again. This can be a prediction if you want to jot it down or screenshot this or take a receipt. Prediction is Antonio Brown's antics are on hold. They're not gone. They're on pause. Next piece of news. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if you guys saw the interview appearing on SportsCenter Monday evening. A-Rod said that his reported desire to leave the Packers is not about 2020 first rounder Jordan Love or the coaching staff. He loves the coaching staff. He loves love. He actually said, some kind words about Jordan Love. I think they were probably fabricated because I haven't heard anything positive about that guy taking over the starting job if A-Rod does get traded. But this begs the question, will A-Rod be gone from Green Bay in 2021? Will he be elsewhere? Where will he be? Will he be in Denver? Some say the Raiders. Some say there's a couple different locations, but the number one team that I think is a possibility would be Denver. And if Denver lands A-Rod, guess who becomes a top 5 to 10 wide receiver almost immediately, almost overnight? The man named Jerry Jeudy. So buy your shares now, and even if you buy him low now, which you would do, right? You're going to buy Jerry Jeudy low. You're not going to go buying this guy at a ridiculous price tag. There's no need to do that. You're buying Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver 3 value in redraft. You're buying him as a wide receiver 2/3 in Dynasty. Buy him low, and you're going to get most likely top 10 to 15 wide receiver numbers anyway. I really believe he's going to be that good in Dynasty. I think he's going to be fantastic. Fantastic. But if A-Rod ends up in Green Bay, the fantastic will be expedited. This man will be on fire. He will be the next breakout wide receiver immediately, instead of okay, we're hopeful that there's some consistent quarterback play for our man Jerry Jeudy so he can get there quicker, right? Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, this group is phenomenal. And Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith are as good, I would say. You still got A.J. Brown, you got Ridley. This wide receiver pool in fantasy football 2021 and beyond is unreal. 30 days, 2 hours, and we're gonna breach 30 minutes. I now have 30 days, 2 hours, and 29 minutes until I have to do my Smitty is ripped reveal. Don't worry, it'll be a PG reveal. It's mainly just me showing. You guys will know. You'll know. If I failed, you'll know. It'll be like, Smitty, I don't see a difference, bro. A-Rod, yeah, Nicholas, I don't think A-Rod's leaving. So let me get back on point. I get he's unhappy. I get the Green Bay Packers want to fix things. I get Aaron Rodgers may not want to return. I get that's the narrative that he's painting, but he doesn't really have a say. Julio Jones doesn't really have a say. Everybody acting like just because they want out, that a team's willing to be like, I hope Jerry Jeudy doesn't get traded in an A-Rod deal, bro. If A-Rod lands in Denver, he better retain Jerry Jeudy, because that's the whole point of my segment. I don't want my segment to fall apart, bro. That'd be a shame to watch Jerry Jeudy and A-Rod pass each other like a prisoner exchange, and it's like, damn it, damn it. Jerry Jeudy would not. I don't think they would trade Jerry Jeudy for A-Rod, so don't even worry about it. It's nonsense. It's not going to happen. But A-Rod's probably not getting traded, because if Green Bay wanted to trade A-Rod, and I know that things can change and unravel and get worse and all that, but if they wanted to trade A-Rod, they would have done so before the NFL draft or on draft day. And I know people say they didn't have time. This was brewing for a while. Aaron Rodgers probably, or whoever leaked whatever they leaked, and it sounds like it was nobody. It sounds like it was Adam Schefter deciding he wanted to just kick things off and speak about it, and not tell anybody where it was coming from, that it was coming from a place of his news gathering and decision to just release it. There was a lot of controversy around that. But I think that A-Rod, hit that thumbs up on your way in the door. I think that A-Rod ain't going anywhere. I don't think Green Bay has any interest in getting rid of their top 5 quarterback, their NFL MVP, a guy that can take them to the Super Bowl this year. I firmly believe they could be a Super Bowl contending team in 2021. And if you think, oh, the drama might not make it so, the drama is even more of a reason why I'm on board A-Rod taking the Packers to the Super Bowl in 2021. Not that it's a lock, not that it's my favorite call, or that I won't waver or change my mind as to who's going to make the Super Bowl in 2021. But I'm telling you right now, I feel very, 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 very optimistic that the Packers will be one of 4 teams that I envision being in the Super Bowl in 2021. And he feeds off of drama. He feeds off being down by a touchdown with 45 seconds left, back on the 30-yard line with 70 yards to go. That's A-Rod. That's when A-Rod's in his best place. When the pressure's on, the drama's real. Nothing's, what's up is down, what's down is up. The dude knows how to deliver in drama. He's estranged from some of his family. I don't know if that's still true. The dude knows how to navigate through drama and craziness. So this is good for him. All this is good for his 2021, in my opinion. This is where he lives. This is where A-Rod lives, in drama. And I don't think the Packers want to get rid of a guy that can take them to the Super Bowl. They just extended a running back that's getting older by the day, like every running back in the NFL, surprisingly. But this man's getting older at a quicker rate because he has played a lot. He has got a lot of miles on his tires, and that's Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is no spring chicken. Aaron Jones is a running back that has a shelf life, and they just signed him to a new deal, and you're telling me they're going to then ship Aaron Rodgers off so they can rebuild and waste money that they spent on Aaron Jones? Doesn't sound logical. I know not so logical things can happen in the NFL, but that does not sound like the most logical move. Adams is very, very likely to leave if A-Rod's not there. I almost put that on lock that he leaves. If A-Rod stays, maybe he stays. And if he doesn't, they still would want to retain A-Rod. Why lose both players? I don't agree at all that A-Rod is likely to leave. But anything can happen. If I had to put a percentage on it, I would probably call it something along the lines of like 30% chance that A-Rod leaves and goes elsewhere in 2021. Let me give Grant this link, see if Grant wants to jump on. Granty boy! If you are around, jump in, intern. We haven't seen you in quite a while, Mr. Grant. If anyone is down, anyone, I'm live. Okay. I invited a few people to jump in. Let's see who makes it. Hit the thumbs up on your way in the door. A-Rod, I don't think's leaving. 30% chance he goes anywhere. The only reason there's a 30% chance is because teams make dumb moves all the time. Okay. Dak Prescott looking healthy. Returned to practice on Monday. Throwing to covered wide receivers. So this wasn't just like throwing drills. He was actually throwing to wide receivers on the go, on the move, and he looked pretty good from what I've heard, what I've been told, and he's looked good in some of his warm-ups and foot drills that I've seen anyway. I've been pretty happy with what I've seen. Now, I do think that it's a little worrisome that Dak Prescott suffered such a bad injury. It was that foot dislocation was like it was both sides. Let's see if we can get Dr. Raj to explain it. Dr. Raj, the Rajinator. Okay.
I'll probably on later. I just wanted to say that.
Okay. Yeah, call if you can. We'll be here for another hour and 20 minutes. So call when you're ready.
I'll try. I gotta pick up my daughter right now. But
okay.
I'll get going.
Yeah. Hey, Dak Prescott was in practice today, throwing to his wide receivers. Real quickly before you go, are you feeling pretty good about Dak's recovery?
I mean, he's in there already throwing. That's a place to be for him.
Yeah. Well, hey, call me back if you can later.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, thanks, Raj. All right, that's our boy Raj. He'll chime in. He's getting off work. But that ankle, like if you dislocate the ankle, sometimes there's, one side that's really damaged, like we'll call this side the very damaged side, and then they have to repair it. Like he literally had damage on both sides, like dislocated the ankle. If you remember, it was like that. So he had hardware put on one side. I don't know if he had screws or what put on the other side. That part I haven't clarified. But both sides had some massive damage and required, surgery. And so Dak is in a vulnerable position trying to get back in time. He looks like he's there, but the problem is going to be one big shot to that ankle, and we could be looking at a very serious setback for Dak. It's definitely something that you got to worry about. Like him taking a shot in the ankle is going to be different than the average player getting a shot taken at the ankle. Another report, defensive end Nick Bosa knee is expected to be ready for the beginning of training camp. That's great news. We kind of knew that was probably going to be the case. That about does it for the news. Julio to Green Bay. Sneaky Pete, it could happen. But I think like A-Rod going elsewhere, 30% chance in my mind. There's probably a 40%, 35-40% chance Julio ends up getting traded before the season starts. I see it's more likely they trade him once playoff hopes are gone or something. I think, again, logic doesn't always enter the chat. And so if logic doesn't enter the chat, then guess what? You have yourself a situation that is unpredictable. And maybe Julio does get traded for just money reasons because they got to sign rooks. They got to... afford different things, and if they could get a second round pick, free up some money, maybe even get a player involved as well, who knows, man? Who knows? Now it is time for Fantasy Football Court. Fantasy Football Court. And the first question of the day is from Logan. Let's get the music going. Where's my court? Fantasy Football Court, baby. Let's roll. Okay. Ask your questions. I'll pop it on screen. I will answer thy question and give thy ruling. Logan says, just traded Pitts and a future late first round pick for Waller and Laviska Shenault. I'm in win now mode, tight end premium. I can't support this, Logan. I know you're in win now mode. Kyle Pitts could be near as good. So why on earth would you do that? I don't like that, Logan. I don't care if you're in win now mode. No, Logan! Get out of here. Get out of my court. Contempt. Contempt, young man. It probably works out for you this year, but Waller is he's older than Kittle. No, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. I'm not feeling good about this, Logan. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Cooper, get out of here. Voice of interrupting my show with a take a lap moment.
Take a lap.
Logan and voice. Back-to-back bad rulings. Of course, Clyde, bro. Kupp isn't even close to Clyde in my mind. Clyde could be a top 5 to 10 running back this year. Get out of here, voice. Community service, voice. 2 weeks, no show for you. Just traded Sanders, Waller, Gurley. Who owns Gurley still? Sanders, Waller, Gurley for A.J. Brown. Sanders, Waller. You know, if you can afford it, Kenny, like, you know, you have good enough running backs and you have a decent tight end. I like it. It's an overpay. I'm only fine with it if I know the details. You brought me no materials to court. Nothing for me to look over. No paperwork where I can sift through with my glasses on and make a ruling. So I don't truly know, but A.J. Brown, approved, I suppose. Nicholas, trade J.K. Dobbins for David Montgomery and a future first. Where's the first, Nicholas? If it's a mid to late first, I'd rather have the upside of JK. If it's a top 5 pick, be honest with yourself, I'd take JK barely. Could burn you though, because Monty was number 4 out of all running backs last year. Smitty, you're clearly not teaching your people correctly. Get out of my courtroom! You're in contempt! Don't speak unless spoken to, Noah. I just wanted to see what you'd say. So now you're lying in my courtroom? No show for you. 3 weeks. Okay. Katie wants to know, Hurts or Wentz? Standard backup. Go with the upside and Hurts. He's got top 6 and 10 appeal. A little more risky, but then again, Wentz can't stay healthy. He's maybe even more risky when you take that into consideration. But Hurts has more upside. He runs, running quarterbacks score more. I go with a high upside backup. Go with Jalen Hurts. Wentz could be hurt by the time you need him on a. Wentz could be hurt by the time you need him on a bye week. Kenny, I have Taylor, Ridley, Najee, Julio. I'll be streaming tight ends. I don't like streaming tight ends, but I do like Julio on that team. It's fine. I approve it. I approve it. Never did Dynasty before. I took over a team that had Watson and other QBs. The other QB is Burrow at pick 13. Would I be crazy to draft Chase over another QB? If it's a 1 QB league, you already got Burrow. You don't need to draft a quarterback. If it's a 2 QB league, then you need to potentially get 2 quarterbacks. But I'm going to say, hell no. You draft Chase. You draft Harris. You don't go with a quarterback when you got Burrow sitting on your bench. Contempt. That's another contempt. We got a lot of contempt in court today. Goddard or Gesicki? Goddard. Stop wasting my time. Hey, Smitty. I need help. I'm just kidding. You're not wasting my time. I need help in a keeper league, PPR league. Ridley, I lose my 4th round pick. Josh Allen, I lose my 10th round pick. Justin Herbert, I lose my last pick. Kareem Hunt, I lose my 6th pick. Calculations. According to my calculations, carry the 5. It depends, Steven, if this carries over from year to year to year, then it's Allen. Because that is a hell of a deal. If not, if it's just a 1-year thing, or you lose picks every year, then even so, Allen. I would say It depends on where quarterbacks can go. You have a higher likelihood of drafting back Josh Allen than you do Ridley. So if you feel like you can get Allen at like 4th round value or something, I would keep Ridley. Because 4th round is still a steal. Dynasty 1 QB trade. I'm trading away Hurts, Hawkinson, Laviska Shenault, and a 2022 first for Mike Thomas and Waller, and giving a 2022 and a 22 second. You're trading away Hurts, Hawkinson, Shenault first for Mike Thomas, Waller. So Mike Thomas, Waller. That's hard to evaluate, man. I suppose I'd go. You know, I'm not super. I loved Hawkinson. No one liked Hawkinson more than I did in 2020. But I don't like him as much with freaking the situation he's got going on with Goff and no wide receiver. You know, Galladay leaving sucks. Swift is going to have a tough time moving the chains. I'm not liking this Lions team even winning 2 games in 2021. Maybe 2 games. Not moving the chains a lot. I don't care if they're down and they got to throw the football. If you aren't moving the chains, you're not getting into the red zone. You're not scoring points. Just because you're throwing a lot in the 3rd and 4th quarter doesn't mean you're completing passes. So I'm going to say take Mike Thomas and Waller and run to the bank in 2021. Maybe the league closes in 2 years. Who cares? People trading like this. I don't know what the hell's going on. Who plays Dynasty these days? Noah, get out of here. Contempt. Bateman and a mid-2022 first for MT. A mid-2022. I'm going to go with MT on this one. I'm not a big proponent of taking MT in like the 2nd round, but he can win you a league, and really he's young. If he can get healthy, I'm leaning MT here. You have the more, even though he's an injury risk, you have the more secure or for sure high-powered potential because we don't know how healthy he'll be. You bet, Steven. Steven, you get a get out of contempt free card no matter what you say on my show for being polite in this courtroom. All right, next question. Zeke or Clyde? Of course, Noah doesn't give us details. We don't know if this is redraft. We don't know if this is 8 points per carry or -5 for fumbles. No, we don't even know if it's redraft or dynasty. So I'll answer it both ways because that's the kind of judge I am. In redraft, you have to take Zeke before Clyde. His ADP's in the 1st round. It's like 8 or 9 or 10 overall, maybe 11, depending on who you're playing with. But in Dynasty, it's Clyde. It's Clyde. I don't want to be holding the bag when Zeke falls off. And the good news, Noah, before you start mouthing off in my courtroom before I'm done speaking, because that's the kind of defendant you've been in the past, I will say that you can get value out of this. You could trade Zeke in a dynasty for Clyde and get something. You don't have to do this straight up. But if you're asking me who's going to outperform who, Clydey Boy will outperform Zeke in dynasty. Clydey Boy will probably be even with Zeke if Zeke stays healthy. I quietly like Clyde over Zeke in redraft, but you can't draft him anywhere near him. You can get more. You can trade Zeke and get Clyde and get a wide receiver upgrade. Let's say you got Keenan Allen, and you can upgrade Keenan Allen into a Justin Jefferson or Keenan Allen into a Ridley, because some people think Ridley's a little older. Actually, I don't know if I love Ridley. I trade Keenan Allen for Ridley all day long and swap these 2 running backs. Choose 2. Gus Edwards, Alexander Madison, Pollard. Easy call. Madison and Pollard, super handcuffs. Gus Edwards is not a super handcuff. Gus Edwards is mediocre. He gets volume sometimes, but Madison and Pollard can win you a league, especially Pollard. Especially both. Easy call. Zeke is way too cheap in Dynasty right now. Maybe. Thoughts on Underdog? I haven't used it. They have reached out. We'll see what happens. You may see me pumping them later. Noah, minus 10 points for getting stuffed at the goal line. That could be Zeke this year, bro. How about minus 10 for getting replaced and having Pollard come in at the goal line? Noah. Noah talks back in the court. It's very ballsy of him. So trade Zeke for Jefferson and Dynasty in a heartbeat. Has come in a heartbeat. I love Justin Jefferson and Dynasty. Zeke's got maybe one good, really good year left, maybe, and then a mediocre year. Or he could have one really good half of a year. I'm not a big fan of Zeke Elliott long term. Yeah, people are worried with Zeke. They're not over worried with Zeke. Zeke has... You did this last night, Noah, and you said that you said Dalvin Cook had more usage than Zeke Elliott, which is not true. You're painting a narrative about overreaction to Zeke. Zeke has a ton of miles, bro. A ton of miles. There is absolutely a reason to be worried about him lasting longer than one elite year. No question about it. Thoughts on Higbee breakout this year with Stafford and no Everett? Certainly. At the right price, I like it. Smitty, bail me out. Dynasty 2 QBs, Watson, Darnold, Fields, Fitzpatrick, Cook, Taylor, Najee, Jacobs, ETN, Jefferson, A-Rob, you mean, Godwin, Julio, Kittle. Need 1 to 2 QBs. Who do I move? This is a good one. Move Jacobs. Move Jacobs. Move Jacobs. And I don't know. I personally would move Jacobs and one of the quarterbacks. I moved Jacobs and Darnold. Jacobs and Fields. What I did in my league is I moved Watson and a future first rounder, which will be a late first round pick because my team's really good. I moved Watson, who was my only quarterback, to get, I had to get into a position where my team would be good again with a quarterback, because without a quarterback, it was going to end up falling apart because I had such a now team. So I traded Watson and a future late first rounder in my mind for Josh Allen. So now I have Josh Allen in that league, and that's what I would recommend for you. Use Jacobs, use Julio, use one of those two, both of them, whatever, and trade either Darnold or Watson away and go get a Josh Allen or Herbert, someone like that. Maybe you can't do that. Then I would say you could trade maybe Jacobs for like a Burrow, Jacobs for a quarterback like that, even if you have to give up a tiny bit more. And if all else fails, go after Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's the cheapest quarterback that shouldn't be cheap right now, especially in Dynasty. 8th or 9th round pick in a regular 1 QB league. That tells me he's undervalued. Even in the 2 QB league, you're going to get him cheaper than you should. So go after Russell Wilson. Swift or Mike Davis in redraft. A lot of you are going to think that I'm crazy, but I think this is really close. The reason I think it's close is I don't believe in Detroit producing running backs. I'm not crazy. I know a lot of you love Swift. You think he's a top 5 to 10 running back. He's got the talent, but he's a little bit of an injury worry. He's got a horrible situation. They dismantled the entire team. Everybody's trying to build rapport together. It wouldn't shock me if Davis outperformed him, but Swift's got a way higher ADP. It'd be reckless to say draft Davis over Swift, but like if you could get a big upgrade and downgrade into Davis, I would do that. Like my Julio for Ridley example, or a wide receiver that I think is getting older, or like a Cup, like trade Cup for whatever, I don't know, or trade a wide receiver 2 for like Lamb, or trade for a pick that moves you up a spot in a rookie pick. Like you could go from 9 to like 6, you could get Devontae Smith and then do that swap. If it's oh no, this is redraft. If it's redraft, that means you haven't drafted yet. Voice of reason, I'm gonna assume. So you take Swift. But if you are taking another player in that range where you would take Swift, like a wide receiver, like you could get a Lamb or whoever, take that player and then take Davis later. Ridley, Justin Jefferson, and Lamb, play one, sit one, trade one. Contempt. We're not sitting anyone. We're not trading any one of these guys. Not in my court. Bring up my favorite wide receivers and tell me to bench one of them and trade one of them. Not gonna happen, bro. Fantasy dude, you have the 4th pick in a rookie draft. Najee, Chase, Pitts are gone. Who do you take? Easy. Devontae Smith. If it's a 1 QB league, Devontae Smith. He's my number 3. I have him personally over Pitts. I like them about the same. They're pretty close, but you got to rank one over the other, right? And I rank Devontae Smith. I think he's a top 6 wide receiver for the future. Very easy call for me. I love the 4th pick. 4th pick is money. 4th pick is money. Scrotum Toast. Who is one player whose ADP is way too high and way too low right now in your humble opinion? Swift. I'm going to say way too low. Right now, Lamb. Right now, Clyde. And 100% Russell Wilson in the 8th or 9th round. What are you people doing? Bobby Boy Robert Tonyan. Bob Tonyan in the 90s, I got laughed at in a Instagram expert page league. And these guys were like, he took Bobby Tonyan in a dynasty. At 90, I got laughed at. Bobby Boy Tunion's getting disrespected, and it's unreal. This guy had 11 TDs last year, was number 4 in tight end scoring. Go get Bobby Boy. This was just a few examples for you. Swift and Judy. What about him, bro? Swift or Judy, did you mean? If you're asking me Swift or Judy, I'd rather have Judy, but you got to play the ADP game right. You got to trade, buy low. And Judy's got a much later ADP, so you've got to get more. But I love Judy quietly better. I do. Julio got some more good seasons? Or are you off that train? Nolan, it depends where he goes. But Julio Jones is no longer a top 10 fantasy football wide receiver. And for some odd reason, that makes a lot of people angry. And I don't understand how people don't at least, get the thinking. I get it if you want to believe that Julio's going to be an outlier and have a good 33, 34 age season. But the dude's 32 turning 33, like in between that stage where you literally have like one last year potentially. He's very... you could say he's not injury prone because he's played so many seasons without missing a lot of time, but he's always been banged up. He's always on the injury report. He's always had the foot issue being listed, and he missed a significant amount of time last year. Pretty safe to say that going forward, he is an injury risk, whether he wasn't before last season in your mind or not. He now is a big injury risk at his age, coming off of a season where he missed a big, huge chunk of the year. He's no longer a 1,400-yard receiver. But if he landed in the right spot, could he get like 7 or 8 TDs or something, become a TD guy? He could. But he goes somewhere like San Fran. I don't think the yards are going to be there. There are too many mouths to feed. He could go to New England. I don't think he'd get enough footballs thrown his way. So Julio Jones, in my mind, whether he stays or goes, is going to be on the decline. And if people are expecting top 10 wide receiver numbers, they're going to be disappointed. Do you think Dallas is going to the Super Bowl? I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl, but I think Dallas could be a top 6 to 8 team this year overall. I think if you're looking at what teams could go to the Super Bowl and you collect 6 to 8 of them together, and last time I talked about this, everyone took that as they were going to the Super Bowl. They're one of 8 teams that are going to be, I think, fighting and everybody expecting to be potentially showing up to the Super Bowl. 4 from each conference. And I think the Dallas Cowboys will be at least in the running for being one of those teams in 2021. And while people think that's funny, while people make fun of their defense, they're going to light it up on offense. And when you're in the regular season, you can make it to the playoffs. You can be a team that looks like it's on fire despite having some defensive needs and letting a lot of people score points on you. It happens. But do you win the Super Bowl that way? No, you kind of need defense to win that Super Bowl contest. You kind of need defense to probably get into the championship game. But I think they're going to be in the top 8, let's say top 8 to 10 teams in the NFL. You know, and yeah, Dak's going to have a phenomenal year if he stays healthy. And that's something that Noah says top 5. What's up, Elgin? Worst player you have dropped in recent memory? I dropped Justin Jefferson in Dynasty, says Kenny, last year for Traquan Smith. It takes balls to admit that, Kenny, so I give you the honesty card here. I would say the worst player I've dropped, I can't really think of it, to be honest. I'm sure I've dropped somebody like that at some point in my 19 freaking years professionally, and in 25 years playing fantasy, or however many years I've played fantasy for. Something along 28 years I think I played fantasy. But I don't know for sure. I can't really remember it. So, counter offer. I just received Zeke and Deontay Johnson for Justin Jefferson and Darrell Henderson. Zeke and Deontay. Yes, I take Justin Jefferson in a dynasty. I don't even hesitate. Running backs include Cook and CMC. You're fine. Noah, leave him alone. 14 men redraft. I got the last pick. Do you combo Kelsey with Mahomes? Boy as your first and second round for 1 QB half PPR league, or go wide receiver, whatever running back's available. I probably say Mahomes is just too early, bro. You know, at 12, 13. Kelsey's not if it's redraft, but I still don't love that build. I'd rather go with, I'd rather go with I don't know. I'd rather go. I don't think JT will be there. This is a tough one. You know, it's not the craziest move. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. If you do well with this type of approach, if you've done it before, don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. If you think you can win with Mahomes at 12, it is early. It's not advised. But if you land your running backs and your wide receivers later, who's to say you can't win? My advice would be not to. My advice would be to try and trade down if you want Mahomes. Take him at like 18 or 20. Gain value somewhere else if you want to do that. I just don't like that option. I'd much rather see you walk out with, 2 top wide receivers. And I'd much rather you have like a Gibson or a Harris if you had to reach for a running back and you didn't like the running backs were available, versus taking a guy you don't like. But what if a nice good running back falls to you at 12? I think that's too early, bro. I know you want to do it, but trade down if you're going to do it. Don't do it. Don't listen to anybody though. Go with your gut. Just use me as a guide, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Use a nerd says, should I trade JT and my 1.1 and first rounder in 2022 to get Christian McCaffrey? I would get Naja Harris if I kept my pick. Honestly, bro, no, not even close. first of all, someone can make an argument, yours a nerd, that you could trade McCaffrey straight up for JT or Harris in a dynasty because you're taking McCaffrey 1.1, right? But you're doing it kind of like an uncomfortable fashion if you're in dynasty because you almost have to take him at 1.1. But do you really feel like he's got even 2 or 3 elite years left? He probably more likely has 1 to 2, not 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. So I'm kind of feeling like I would be tempted. I don't know that I would do it, but I'd be tempted to go JT or Harris over McCaffrey if I got even a little bit. You're telling me you're going to trade JT and Harris for CMC? Not at all, bro. I'm not liking that at all. In fact, I'm going to put you in contempt of court for asking this question at all. Both these guys are top 5 running backs potentially. So you did super chat, so you're not in contempt. But community service at least. Keep your 2 running backs, bro. Brian even said. You should let your baby draft a team for you. I don't know, but it should. Yeah, maybe I will, Scrotum Toast. Should I trade Chubb for Miles Sanders and David Montgomery? Oh, man, that's a tough one. If you need running backs, I guess. But Chubb's probably the safer bet. I'm not going to even put a ruling on that one. You bet, use a nerd. I appreciate the super chat. You have literally, bro, you have 2 of my favorite dynasty running backs. Like, why in the hell are you going to trade them? You have 2 of my favorite dynasty running backs. You have 2 top 5 running backs in my mind. Don't be trading 2 top 5 running backs for Christian McCaffrey just because he's the redraft 1.1 and the pressure is on people to make him the dynasty 1.1. Keeper League. Stuck with Derrick Henry. Got pick 9 in a 10-team PPR redraft. What positions should I target rounds 1 and 2? Keeper League. I'm confused because you're saying redraft. Keeper League, stuck with Derrick Henry. Got pick 9 in 10-team PPR redraft. I'm confused, Brooke. I'm confused. What position should I target rounds 1 and 2? Let me answer this. Okay, maybe you're just talking about Henry and saying you're stuck with him. In another league, 10-teamer, you got the 9 pick. Who should you target in with that 9 pick and that 12 pick? Honestly, bro, I can't tell you. It's best player available when you're on the clock. If Jonathan Taylor fell for some dumb reason, you take Taylor. If the running backs there are very questionable, I think in a 10-teamer, you could even get away with going wide receiver a little bit easier. You could take literally the top 2 wide receivers. You could take Diggs and DK. You could take Diggs and Hill. You could take Diggs and AJ Brown if you want. You could walk out with 2 elite wide receivers. You're probably going to get running backs that are pretty darn good in the 3rd and 4th round. It's not the easiest strategy to pull off. There's definitely risk involved going wide receiver. I want you to know that, but I've seen a bunch of good teams, good-looking teams with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Montgomery as the 2 running backs. What if Najee Harris fell? I don't think he will. This is, it's redraft, but you never know. You could go Najee Harris at freaking pick, 12. I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that at 12. You could literally go Diggs and Harris. In fact, I kind of feel like that's a great start to a team, man. Even in redraft, I might lean that way. Rank this. DK, Jefferson, Ridley, AJ Brown, and Hopkins. DK, Jefferson, Ridley, AJ Brown, and Hopkins. In Dynasty, I'm going to say Jefferson, AJ Brown, DK, then Ridley, or Ridley, DK, then Hopkins. I don't know if that's what you're asking me to do. So, goodbye. Any advice for 2 QB, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 flex league? Honestly, bro, yes. My advice is to go to heysmitty.com because you can order my on-demand text service and I can help walk you through your draft or prepare you for your draft. But in general, depends on your draft pick, depends on the flow of draft, depends on how early QBs go. Do you know if guys wait on a QB? I did a 2 QB Scott Fishbowl draft last year, and guess who kept falling? Quarterbacks. So I didn't take my quarterback until rounds 4 and 5, and I got, I believe it was Brady and like A-Rod or something, because A-Rod was so undervalued. It was Brady and maybe it was Wilson. I don't know. I don't remember. It was Brady and another quarterback were really close to Brady. I got 2 quarterbacks, 2 really good quarterbacks at that range, and that doesn't happen in traditional dynasty or 2 QB league. So a lot of details I need to know before I can really truly answer the question, but I would at least take care of your one of your quarterbacks if it's a super flex. If it's a lot of people say 2 QB leagues, and it's not. It's a super flex league. There's a difference between a 2 QB league and a super flex league. A 2 QB league is required 2 QBs. That's a lot harder to play in because you have to start 2 QBs. Super flex league is where you have the option to do it. So if you get one good quarterback and you get screwed at your QB2, you can still survive and you can still win. It's just hard. So get one quarterback early and start going best player available. That ticking sound is insane. In a good way or a bad way, Hazel. We're on the clock here. I've got to answer a question within 60 seconds. Johnny Lee, love your content, bro. Always looking forward to your videos. Thank you, Mr. Lee. You get a free get out of contempt court card for your kindness. Noah is ranking them, the wide receivers, above like this. Come on, keep the questions coming. You guys are getting behind. I had to wait. I don't like to wait in my courtroom. Kamara or Saquon. You could go either direction. I go Kamara because he's healthy. Saquon's recovering. Probably going to be fine, but recovering from an ACL tear, Kamara should be fine, especially with Taysom Hill getting a full offseason preparing as a quarterback. So if he does go in there, he'll know the offense better, know how to throw to him. But it could be considered a tie. I have sensitive ears. I don't think it's that loud though, is it? Noah says Saquon by a few miles over Kamara. Okay, Noah. Kittle or Waller? Probably Waller, but Kittle's actually younger than Waller. People don't realize that, but Kittle has got a 100% torn labrum. I'm pretty confident, unless that report was wrong and no one ever corrected it on Newswires, if it was like a 70% tear, then he could heal. But if it's a 100% tear, to my knowledge, you cannot recover from a 100% tear. So it's a matter of time before he has surgery for that. And he plays so aggressive. A lot of mouths to feed. I go Waller. Brian says Kamara over JT. In Dynasty, I like JT more than Kamara quietly. But I would probably trade down to do that. I'd probably get value. JK or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I personally like Clyde more. But same situation. ADP dictates that JK goes higher. You got to use that to your advantage. You can't go drafting Clyde higher. But I do like Clyde quietly higher. Hascom. When are you doing a redraft league for your season coming up? They were great last season. Redraft league, you mean like a follower league? I'll probably be doing a couple of those here soon. I've got a big league coming up. We're going to do the Fantasy Football Throne draft here in June. And that's going to be fun. Oh my God, that's fun. If you don't know what the Fantasy Football Throne League is, it's a league I created where all of our followers for 12 separate channels or Instagram pages, our followers draft for us. And it's freaking phenomenal. You guys draft my team. We went to the finals. We lost, but it was great. JT or Chubb? I'm going to go JT by a long mile. If it's redraft, a long mile. If it's dynasty, 10 miles. Like, not even close. Chubb's got, injury worry to me. Thanks in advance for the trade assessment. Where's the... Oh, here it is. Thank you for the super chat, D2. I appreciate you. IDP. Superflex 12 team. PPR. Tight end premium. Trades. Traded Christian McCaffrey 1.1. Woo. 6.7. 6.2. 7.5. Oh, man. For the 1.2 Lance. 1.3 Najee. Oof. ETN 2.7. He fell at 2.7. Carter and 3.4. I love it, but what do you think? So you traded McCaffrey, and I don't know who went there. Like, you were going to take a quarterback anyway, so we can almost... I assume you're going to take a quarterback, so we can almost wash the 1.1 and 1.2. Let's take that out. Even though it's a move up, you got probably the guy you wanted anyway. So you traded McCaffrey for Najee, ETN, Carter. Najee, ETN, I like it. I mean, you're getting a lot of potential future. It's tough trading McCaffrey, but that's a good trade. I like that. You didn't like crush him, but it was good. Like, because CMC is gonna be so good this year. But I like it. Ayuk or Higgins? I'm probably gonna go with Ayuk in this one. I like Higgins a lot, but he is the number 2 on his team on a very solid, high-passing, high-volume squad. So it could equal out. Like a number 2 in Cincy could equal the number 1 in San Fran, because Kittle commands probably number 1 target. So in a way, Ayuk could be the number 2. You could look at it that way. But I think Ayuk's got a little more upside to be a low-end fantasy football wide receiver 1, especially if Lance comes out gunslinging and he's way better than anybody expected, and Trey Lance ends up just dropping fire. Then, I mean, damn. But I'm going to go Ayuk. This seems to be a big one. Akers or Dobbins. I prefer Dobbins slightly more. I do too. And I know Akers is... I mean, here's the thing. You draft Akers way ahead of JK, though. So, again, this is one of those scenarios where if you like JK quietly more, you got to get more value if you're doing this trade. If this is a trade. And if you're drafting, you got to trade down. Akers is going in the top 11 to 12. Way too high for me. 10, 11, 12. Akers is going that high. I've seen him in Dynasty go even as high as like 7 and 6. That's crazy to me. We mock drafted one time, he went at 5 in a Dynasty. Way too high. Dobbins is not going anywhere near there. So if you like Dobbins more, you have to trade down. Or if you're trading, you have to get more, or you're getting absolutely clobbered in fair market value. Fair market value is reality. Perception is reality. You're leaving a lot on the table. You don't sell your house for $200,000 when it's worth $350 just because you're going to get I'm getting $200,000. Let's say it's paid off. You're going to get $200,000 if you sell it, but it's worth $350. Why would you not sell it for $350? Same thing here. Akers is worth more. He just is. So if you're drafting him and trading him or whatever, you've got to take advantage of that or you're getting screwed. Dobbins is better, says Noah. Akers is a better situation. That's what Noah thinks. Kareem Hunt, thoughts? I like him as a very low-end running back, too. Better as a super high-end flex value guy. He's going in around 5-6 kind of ish range. And I think it's really decent value. He could outscore Chubb. He did last year. Everybody's going to say, no, how can you say that? He did last year. Eventually this will break. I always try to trade where both parties feel good, so I keep the trade window open. That's good of you, D2W. I don't always do that. Sometimes I drop the thunder and I ruin that partnership. Where are we at? Can you explain the situation of Jacobs and DeMont? Why are people doubting them? J-Rob the same. All right, Johnny. Here we go. We got a minute to do this. Jacobs is a head case in my mind. That's my opinion. And, you know, he toyed around with people all last year. I'm not going to play, and then he did, and he's screwing with the fans. He started flipping off his own followers on Instagram with the bird emoji. Told people to F their fantasy, meet me at the stadium. He's a head case. They brought in Drake, and now his workload is questioned. Like, how can you not be afraid of Drake coming in and stealing half of the work from Jacob? So that answers that question right there. David Montgomery, there's reason to be worried that his top 4 running back season was an outlier, mainly because Nagy is now calling plays in 2021, which is horrible news. But I think David Montgomery's a good value grab as like a first running back taken if you do a wide receiver draft approach. I'm okay with David Montgomery there. It's not like he's going in the top of the second round where he'd be high risk, high reward. He's medium risk, maybe low risk, high reward. So I actually like David Montgomery. J-Rob's a hard one to crack because you bring ETN in, right? But then they say he's going to be a wide receiver. Will he really be a wide receiver? Will they eventually give ETN all the work? You would think so, right? As he developed, you'd think he would become an Antonio Gibson. And I believe he really has that kind of upside. But if they stick to their guns and they use ETN majority of the time as a wide receiver, then that means J-Rob could eat, and you could draft him as a flex this year, and he'd do really well from there. He was going as a low-end running back 1 or a super high-end running back 2 before the draft. Now he's like a dirt-poor, cellar-dweller running back 3-4 or flex, and that could be a steal. But I'm not excited about him because it feels like he's on borrowed time. So, Monty, easy out of that group. Trade 2 current league, same Superflex PPR 12-team IDP. Traded Hill, Miles Sanders, and Jordan Love. He's a Packer fan. And a 6 for CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts, 1.7 Parsons, and Michael Carter. So Hill and Sanders. Hill and Sanders for... Bro, I would trade Hill and Sanders alone for Pitts and CeeDee Lamb. You got Parsons and Michael Carter. That's just... You say you like both sides to win? This trade window closed, bro. Nice job. You're under arrest for highway robbery. Three days. I like everybody to feel good about the trade. No, you don't. Chubb, AJ Brown, Hawkinson for Waller. Haven't we seen this one? Chubb, AJ Brown, Hawkinson. No, we haven't. Waller, Sanders, DeMont. So DeMont, Sanders, Chubb. So Hawkinson, Chubb, upgrade to Waller. I'm sorry, Hawkinson, Waller, upgrade to Waller. Chubb is an upgrade over Sanders. AJ Brown over DeMont. This is a hard one. I'd go Chubb, AJ Brown, Hawkinson. Yeah, by a lot. By a lot. I wasted too much time on that. I do my best to come out better than others. Well, you did pretty good there, D2. I don't think that guy's coming back to your door. Your closed or opened window. Unpopular opinion. Ketchup doesn't go on steak. Pineapple doesn't go on pizza. Ketchup doesn't go on steak. That's not unpopular. That's smart. Pineapple on pizza, I beg to differ. That tastes fantastic. I also say people that say don't put ketchup on a hot dog. What the heck? What kind of world do you live in where you don't put ketchup on a hot dog? You smother that thing in ketchup, relish, mustard. What are you talking about? Robin didn't even say anything about hot dogs, and I'm yelling at him. Sorry, Robin. What is a realistic return for Dalvin Cook in Dynasty? 1.1, 1.2, get Harris, Devontae Smith and a player. If you could get 2 picks for him, like you could get Devontae Smith and Michael Carter or something like that, I feel like that's still underselling him a little bit. I would probably look for like a Clyde and like Lamb. I bet you could get Clyde and Lamb for Dalvin Cook or Clyde and Lamb for CMC. Parsons is a rookie. Pineapple on pizza is outstanding. Just no ham. I agree, no ham on the pizza. I'm not a big ham man. I don't like the ham. It's not good for the guns. Smitty, I love ketchup on hot dogs. Try adding mayo. Dude, I got bagel dogs from Costco that are phenomenal. They're the Coney Island bagel dogs in the freezer section. It's like a green box. Phenomenal. I love the pretzel dogs. You can get those at Target. If you need a little microwave snack, man, those do wonders late at night. Although I can't eat it now because I'm in ripped mode. I can if I run a couple times. If I run an extra time, like every time I eat, I try and run. So if I run 1.5 miles to 2 miles every time I eat, I can get a bagel dog. Like if I'm sitting here in the middle of the night and I go, I want a bagel dog. I want a pretzel dog. I just got to go run. That's it. Go run. I can eat it. Take a lap. That's where if you didn't know, that's where take a lap came from. I used to say with my buddies, you want to eat, you have to run a mile every time you turn into 2 miles for me, or 1.5, 2 miles. But back then when I came up with it, it was you want to eat, run a mile. That's what it was. It wasn't even take a lap yet. It was want to eat, run a mile. And somebody'd be like, hey, I want to have a burrito, run a mile. And that was like the funny thing that was said. It eventually turned into take a lap, you know, for a bite, or take a lap to eat, whatever. And take a lap found its way onto the show. And Miss Smitty was saying it one time, and I was like, I'm gonna start saying that on the show. That's how to take a lap. 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 Whataburger, nope. I'm not a big Whataburger fan. Costco, love it, Brian. Where's my timer? Where's Dr. Raj? Ain't nobody running a mile every time they eat. Noah, you are the most negative person. I just told you I run a mile every time I eat. So I do. I do it, Noah. That's all that matters. I take a lap. Every time I eat, I take a lap. I want to run, or I want to eat, I take a lap. Damn Noah. Noah. Everything out of your mouth, everything is negative. No Whataburger. In-N-Out is the best. That's a positive statement, Noah. Top receiving target in Indy. I kind of like Pittman, man. But maybe it'll be Julio. Thoughts on In-N-Out burgers? Love them. Yeah, we'll see if I can get that 6-pack unwrapped. The bubble wrap currently is surrounding it, but let's see if we can unpack that bad boy. Give me 30 days, 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I will be ripped. No, we got to make Noah more positive. We got to figure out a way to help him. Top 2 and bottom 2 QBs this season. I don't know, Texas. I mean, you're talking about a guy might come in and play 2 games, and then another guy come in. Like, I'm gonna say, I don't know on the bottom 2. There's so many options, you know. But I'd say top 2, Mahomes and Josh Allen, or Herbert or Kyler could sneak in there and be number 2, but Mahomes probably number 1. Come on, Smitty. Here, what's this? I haven't even read this yet. What's this gonna say? Well, I haven't even read this yet. Hold on. Come on, Smitty. Come on, Smitty. If you really ran every time you ate, you'd have a 6-pack. This man cannot. No, actually, no. Think about it, Noah. How much soda did I say I drank? 100 ounces. So it makes sense that me running so much keeps my weight down. And if I stopped drinking soda alone, I probably would be ripped. Because I run every day. I run 2 times a day, Noah. I do run 2 times a day, Noah. Parsons is Dallas rookie. Oh, you've already said that? Yep, we got it. I think you were saying that for Noah. Noah said, who's Parsons? Top 2, bottom 2, got that one. Ran out of questions. Where are the questions? I ran out of questions in my court. Where are the questions? Post it. I don't think Grant's coming. I don't know if Grant's coming back. I don't know if Grant's coming back. Grant might have left the show. 100 ounces soda, relax. I'm surprised you believe me on that, Noah. I'm surprised you didn't say, there's no way you drink 100 ounces of soda. Cherry soda is my drug. I thought you said my dog. Until I get it on screen, it's too small for me to completely read it because I have it over on this little panel. 2 QBs are you're trying to avoid, not named David Carr. You mean Derek Carr? 2 QBs that I'm avoiding. I'm going to say Darnold and I'm avoiding Fields in Dynasty. This is contempt worthy right here. ASU, not Arizona. Okay, Johnny, don't bring that into my courtroom. Don't bring that nonsense in here. Chase Claypool going to do well this year. I think he does better than Deontay Smith in terms of touchdowns. We'll see on yardage and receptions. But I think that it's a tough spot. 3 people they got to feed, and Big Ben's not going to be throwing the football as well as he used to. Keeper league, standard scoring. Keep Henry or Chubb. No draft repercussions for keeping either. I think you probably keep Henry. He's got more trade value anyway. I do shop either one because I worry about both of these guys breaking down. But Henry's a darn good keeper for 1 year. Like, you're going into the season with him as your kept player. But I do try and trade him, bro. I do try and trade him. Timer is giving me anxiety. Now you know how I feel. Okay, I got 60 seconds to answer these questions. Take us on a trip to Lou Molinati's. Let's go. I love Nolan. Nolan. Yeah, this is when the season begins. When the super chats come rolling in, I always buy a pizza pie with them. I always make sure you guys get to enjoy that. So we'll be going to Lou Molinati's. Don't you worry, Nolan. Don't you worry. We'll be taking the super chats to Lou's to eat pizza pie while I'm doing a live stream. We just got to be careful of the music that's playing up above, because remember last time it was like you have a song playing in the background. Is Odell still elite? Still elite? I don't know when Odell was elite. Talent-wise, he's got the talent. Health-wise, no. And I'm not banking on him. I'm not even like drafting him, really. I mean, I draft him at a certain point, but someone takes him before I ever even consider it. I'd rather have somebody else as my wide receiver 3. 10-man rookie draft, mid-second round wide receiver target. I mean, if Rondell Moore's there, Rondell Moore, baby. He's fallen sometimes. Kirk Cousins worth a look in redraft as a bench quarterback. I mean, I suppose he's not an exciting bench quarterback, but he's an okay bench quarterback. I tend to have a little bit better bench quarterback than that myself, but that's how I roll. I suppose like a Hurts could be there. Hurts is going in the top 8 or sometimes at 12, 13, 14. It all depends. Tom Brady is hard to fit into the top 10, believe it or not. So depending on your league size, you can maybe get a better quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, I would look at. Trey Lance will be fire once he gets in there. Those are all guys that might outscore Kirk Cousins first start once they're rolling. Jamar Chase or Lamb. I love both, bro. I love both. I don't know, man. Johnny, I don't think I can decide on this one, Johnny. I think this is an even Steven. I'll go Lamb, but God, I love Chase. That's a tough question. Are you still on the Montgomery train? He ended up killing it. I still like Montgomery, man. I mean, we all loved him just like we all love Clyde. Monty failed his rookie year to some extent. Clyde failed in his rookie year to some extent. And I think both of them have talent. I'm going to say that Montgomery's a great value in the 3rd and 4th round, and he's falling there despite finishing as a top 4 running back in 2020. He finished as a top 4 running back, and yet people are freaking out. It's crazy. So I like him. I'm on the train. I'm on the 3rd, 4th round train. It's great. It's great value. Nagy's coaching or play calling though, so be careful. I'm in a 500 fantasy league 12-teamer. Who wants in? Texas says. Texas, I don't condone those things on the show, but people can try and find you elsewhere on that, because I don't like trying to organize those or helping people organize those, because people have issues with that stuff all the time where they're like, I don't know. Are you still on the? Already got that question. How are you? Bro? I'm an old man, and I have my lady. That's all I focus on. But ASU's a cool school, man. It's the coolest school. Downtown Tempe campus is pretty awesome. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Downtown Tempe campus, sorry. The downtown ASU campus on Phoenix is pretty good too, but the Tempe campus is lit. I haven't been on campus in a while in Tempe, but I am going to go do some guerrilla marketing, and I'll be live probably doing it. I'll be doing a live stream while I'm out on the Tempe campus walking around. Hundreds of people walking around, probably with COVID coughing on me, and I'll be handing out business cards and doing some guerrilla marketing on the ASU campus this year. So that will be fun. Zach Ertz another year. I don't know if I trust in Zach Ertz. All right, I think that's enough of the fantasy football court. Let's go over to the marker board, and somebody give me a player that they want to trade away. And we'll talk about potential options of trading said player away. I've noticed QBs go first now in fantasy over running backs in full PPR. Why is that? I've noticed QBs go first now in fantasy over running backs in full PPR. Why is that? I haven't noticed that, bro. I don't know what league you're in. QBs, the first QB tends to go around pick like 18 and it's Mahomes, and then the next QB doesn't go until the 3rd round, which is either Josh Allen or Lamar. So that might be a unique league you're in. What's this? Are you worried at all about week 17 being championship week? I am. I've voiced my concern on this, and it's definitely worrisome. Oh, Ridley, trade value, Ridley. Okay, so let's go over this. Ridley. If you're trading Mr. Calvin Ridley, we're trading away Ridley. What should you target? First of all, I don't know why you're trading Ridley. Ralph, only in a super flex. Yeah, Ralph, I've never heard of that before. In a long time. Like one quarterback, someone taking a quarterback early on is a mistake, and they do it. But on the regular, that league just might value it differently. I don't know why you'd trade Ridley. For me to get rid of Ridley, I got to get something amazing. But, you could go after like the 1.1. You may have to give up an additional something here to get Harris or Jamar Chase, but let's say you wanted to get Harris. Harris just has a tiny bit more value than Ridley in a dynasty. So like if I'm trading Ridley, it's going to be a player like that. Let's say I needed a running back and I went after Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I would trade for Clyde Edwards-Helaire and try and do some kind of 2-for-2, because honestly, I would want more than Clyde. And I don't know that I would get enough in a second player unless I added another piece to the equation. So an example of me trading Ridley for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and let's say I'm trying to get like a wide receiver upgrade. I might go after, or maybe a QB upgrade. I might do something like that. But Ridley's a hard guy to trade because he's a guy I want you to acquire. Sanders. Miles Sanders. So trade away. I shouldn't have erased this for you. So trade away Miles Sanders. I'm trying to get a player like CEH. You may have to give up a tiny bit more, but like a second rounder or something like that. You might be able to do it straight up. A wide receiver that I would probably get in exchange for Sanders. Let's say you were to try and acquire the 1.6 rookie pick so that you could take Smith. You'd probably have to give up something here. Would I give up a future first, for a Lamb? Absolutely. Would I give up a future first for Jefferson? Absolutely. DK? For sure. Ridley? Maybe. Because we were on the other side of that a minute ago. But it would be, he's not a spring chicken, but I probably would do that. Quarterback upgrade. I would use Sanders as a quarterback upgrade. Let's say you got Sanders and Stafford for a Josh Allen. I think that would be an awesome trade. Mike Davis. Elliott, good one. Zeke Elliott. If we're trading Zeke Elliott away, I'm trying to get myself a Harris somehow. So whether that's the 1.1 or whatever, you're probably going to have to give up a significant pick to get this done. You're probably going to have to give up a first rounder. It's worth it in the end, in my opinion. But maybe you could give up a wide receiver or something like that. But I don't think a second's going to get it done. You could always try that. But I'd definitely go after Harris. The easiest way to trade Zeke is to go after a running back needy person and get a wide receiver. So if you can buy Jefferson for Zeke and give up, a second, that would be ideal. I would probably, if it was a late first, I myself would give up a first. You could try and get a second back, but I myself would give up a first because that's how much I love Jefferson. You could probably get Lamb and like a second. You could probably trade Zeke for, thinking straight up, a pick that could land you. Maybe you could trade for, a second like that for Jamar Chase, which would be like the 1.2 or 1.3. You could definitely probably trade Zeke for like the 1.4, and then you'd have the option of maybe a Pitts and a Devontae Smith, but probably at least a Devontae Smith. If we're trading Dalvin Cook, I'm going after like a team that has something like this, where I can get a package of players where both of these guys could outperform this guy. He's the best player in the deal, but each one of these guys in their own right could potentially knock him off and be better. So when you have two options from your trade, you're getting two guys that individually could fight against Cook. That's how you're crushing a trade, because you have two options. You're not just trading for Lamb and then this other player that doesn't really have relevance. Another Cook trade, I would go after Harris. I would probably do it straight up with like a second or if I had to do it straight up, I might even consider it, because how much time does Cook really have? We're drafting Cook in Dynasty higher than we're drafting Harris, but in the end, is that a mistake? Is that telling when I would want to trade Cook for Harris, but in a draft you feel pressured to take Cook higher? That says something about ADP and where maybe this is off a little bit for a couple of these players. So talking it out even makes me feel like, I need to rethink my dynasty startup, Cook value, because Cook is a risk. For multiple years he's a risk. Chubb. Look. Chubb, I'd probably try and go get try not to use the same players over and over. Let me pull up my rankings. Chubb, I would probably try and acquire. One second. I traded Sanders and Darnold in a Superflex for the 1.4, which I think will be Najee. That's fire, bro. If you can get your quarterbacks on point. Now, I've talked about this before. By the way, these stickers aren't staying there. As you saw in this shot when I was moving camera angles, I'm doing all kinds of studio work right now, and so I've got a bunch of this crap over here. And so I'm moving stuff around, and these stickers were on the wall up here, and I took them down, and I've got to put them somewhere else, but I didn't want to get the back all dirty or something. So that's not supposed to be there. I just noticed that. Oh, rankings. I can't pull them up right now. Let me try something else. I want to look at some values that I have. And okay, so Chubb, I probably would consider. I know I keep using CEH, but he's a good value. But let's start with a lower value guy. So let me tell you how I go about my trade process. So let's say I want to get rid of Chubb, right? I go combing through the teams, and I find a player I really like. Now, Jerry Jeudy, you can get a whole lot more when you are trading Chubb for Jeudy. But this is the guy I want. Like, I'm looking at this guy's roster. I'm like, okay, Judy's the one I want. Then I have to comb through his roster and find another player that can balance this scale. Because right now, the scale's like this. Right now, the scale's like this. We got to put another player on the scale so that not only does it go even, but we want it to go like this. So we want Jeudy and player and Chubb. You don't want it to be even, despite what D2 says. I want to rake the person over the coals. So if I'm going after this team and I'm like, okay, well, who's this guy have? He's got draft picks, so I'm very interested in the 1.4 to 1.6 because if I can get Devontae Smith, that could work out. I don't know that I go much deeper than that though. I might be interested in a player like, boy, this is tough. maybe somebody already drafted and they had ETN. I mean, something like that is probably what I would try and do for Chubb. But in Dynasty, he might not have that value. It's tough to say. Let me do it with another player. Trade Judy if you got... Oh, that's funny. I don't know if you saw me write that or you said that at the exact same time that I said ETN. Henry. If I'm trading Henry away, you could definitely get a CEH, and I know I keep using him, and something in a dynasty. A lot of times it comes down to like that pick, you know. It's such a good way to balance that scale, because the problem lies is if you find a player you want like Clyde, they may not have another player that is priced right to add in. It might be too many players that are no way you're going to be able to throw them in, or too many players that are not good enough throw-ins. Would I take Judy in CEH? Probably in a dynasty. I would in a dynasty. I'd do that for Henry. I'd do that for Chubb. I'd do that for both. And if you want to upgrade your QB, let's say you've got Watson. This is one of my favorite moves right now. So you got Watson, you're trying to get rid of him. You can't just do this. Hey, can I have Herbert? Can I get Herbs from you for Watson? No one's going to do that. No one's going to take that risk. You may not play. And if you offer that out the gate, you might run this person off. So you got to be really careful. You got to, out the gate, you got to offer the 2-for-1. You can't play around, or it's going to make them get in the habit of saying no. And then what are you going to do? So what I did was, in my Dynasty League, I told you guys this already, but Josh Allen is a huge upgrade anyway in my mind, because, you know, he's young, he's just getting started. And so I gave up a late first for that. That worked for me. If you're going like Herbert, maybe you can give up a Deontay Johnson, you know, something like that, a Claypool Johnson, in addition with Watson, to get Herbert, to get Kyler, to get out of that risk. The other thing you could do is try and trade Watson for the very undervalued Russell Wilson. You know, or if you're in Dynasty, trade Watson for the old A-Rod and get 1 to 2 years of A-Rod, maybe more, but 1 to 2 years of A-Rod, and forego the risk. And I know some people might not like that straight up, but I would do that if I'm in a mode where I can win now and I want to get rid of Watson. All right, last one. Then the show is concluding. Who's the lucky last person? Dynasty, what would you sell Julio for? I was offered Gaskin in a second. Okay, so if you're trading Julio away, this is the final one. Let me put the outro music on, and we're going to finish this one out strong. So Julio Jones. Why does it look so weird? Julio Jones for who? This is a good one. Honestly, not a lot of appeal straight up. You could maybe in Dynasty get a Mike Davis, because they're both going to be on the same amount of borrowed time. But if you wanted to get crafty, this is a throw-in. So you give up Julio and something to get a player. So if you want to get Mahomes, and you have a quarterback like let's see. Maybe you have Dak in Dynasty. So this guy's not going to have much long-term value. You trade Julio and Dak for Mahomes or for Josh Allen. That might work. That's kind of how I would use Julio. I'd use Julio in addition. So let's not use quarterback. Let's do running back. So let's say you have Akers and Julio. You could probably get just about any running back you want doing that, or you could get at least an upgrade into like a top 1 to 3 running back doing that, or you could trade Julio and let's say a Keenan Allen for a Justin Jefferson. That's probably what I would do. I would try and upgrade using Julio. Add Julio as your throw-in piece and get the best player in the deal thrown into your lap on that type of trade. That's going to be it for today. I appreciate all of you showing up for the Fantasy Football Show. We'll be back Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern, 2 hours every single Tuesday and Thursday. I will see you all later. And don't forget to get over to smitty1.com, which has got links to all my stuff. And text me. Hey, smitty.com. Text me. You and I text back and forth. I have a text service. Get it. HeySmitty.com. Later, everybody.